Hey guys, welcome back to Susan Shares. Well, today we're going to kind of paint a picture with our emotions, if you will, and make an illustration out of it. You know, when you're picturing a radio, and I like to paint pictures, they're easier for me. And if you are looking at a radio, there's always a knob, a volume knob, that you can turn it louder or softer or actually turn it on and off. And when you're putting that picture and placing it with emotions, so many of us have all of us actually have such a vast array of emotions. We can turn them on and off pretty easily. We can get very loud, we can get very soft, and we're all so different. But if somebody stays at a volume 10, which is very loud, I'm going to say 10 is loud on this scale, and 1 is very, very soft. But if somebody's at a level 10 all the time, they soon become kind of white noise. And white noise is just that noise that you'll put in and you know, that you just don't hear it after a while. So it's just loud, 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 and it just becomes white noise. You just don't hear what they're saying anymore. So if there's never a change in that range of sound, you literally just stop listening. Same is true if they're always monotone. Constantly, it's the same tone, no affect, no change at all in the affect. It becomes white noise. You just don't hear it anymore. So it needs to be a change in the affect. That knob needs to be turned. Oh, and it needs to be soft. It needs to be a little bit louder. It needs to be kind of in the middle, not off all the time. You know, if you just turn off all your emotions and the knob is off, so you don't ever say anything, it speaks volumes to somebody. You're speaking very loudly, as a matter of fact, to someone if you turn everything off and do not express your emotions. Oh, that speaks loudly. It speaks volumes to someone if you're not saying anything at all, if you don't process and talk out things. So that's not good either. So you need to learn, okay, if I'm really, if I am very fearful of snakes, and if I see a snake and I'm screaming at a volume 10, I mean that's a volume 10. However, if I see a little bitty spider at the sink and I'm screaming at a volume 10, that's not the same volume 10 as when I see a snake. But if I'm always screaming at a little bitty spider, then my husband's never going to know the difference, if that makes sense. So we need to say, if I see a little spider, I need to know the difference between my screams, or my husband at least needs to know, so that it's not crying wolf every single time. So the same is true with our emotions. That's a little example, but we need to transfer that to true emotions when we're in relationship, so that we're always not at a level 10 or always not at a level 1. Our affect is not always the same, because our heart, the issues of the heart, are definitely not always the same. So what's that volume, what's that knob on the volume doing? Is it changing throughout the day, or is it staying the same? Are you always angry? Have you processed why? Are you genuine? Are you authentic? Are you real with who you're with? Are you always the same? So it's a good little illustration in your mind to think about, in the illustration of the knob on the volume of the radio. So think about your emotions and how are they. So have a good day. Okay, bye-bye.